presentation. Yep. uh, so my problem is this. My mother passed away.
And I'm sorry to hear that, man.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And thank you. And she was a painter her whole life, left me with some work, many sofa and chair sized. And my dad has a number of historical documents that I also want to sell. And so I have um, I have some high quality digital scans of some of these works, including the sofa sized ones.
Okay.
And so I need to somehow get at a solution that will accommodate selling the physical art as well as the digital type of like reproductions and things on like digital art on cups and all this stuff, Shopify. And also I'm thinking NFTs, and so I'm looking for some way to contain and focus all of this effort.
Yes. So totally get that. And sort of, he was sending me private messages in the chat, so we started covering a little bit of the ground. And the first thing that I asked him, like, are you looking to build a business here, or do you kind of want to just sell through the existing inventory you have and then be done with it? And that's really the most important question to ask in the thing. Like, if you think you've got enough inventory and enough art, with the reproductions, with the originals, to keep the business going for years and years and years, then it's worth building a business and worth putting all the stuff on your own site and selling all the merch and getting going. If you're not, then it's not. Because let me tell you, building a business like this from scratch is a pain in the ass, a tremendous one. Okay, especially early on. You have to start learning all these things, doing all this marketing, capturing emails, emailing the emails, running sales, all of which is fantastic if you're trying to build a business that you're going to have for the next 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, right? If you're just looking to clear that stuff out, you have to get someone to do it for you, or you could start running live art shows, and try to sell it all direct. So you kind of need to have that internal come to Jesus. And I don't know, not knowing, if your mom had like, some crazy strong followers and is like an art that's timeless. No. Yeah. So not known.
Zero.
Did she sell well when she was alive?
Yeah. She sold in the 70s.
Wow.
She sold to like Peter Gimbel, Pierre Cardin, Prince Juan Carlos de Bourbon. Lots of people, names of people in the 70s. She just stopped and hit and then died.
Yeah.
But kept painting.
Yeah. So that's my point. It's like, you could have in your mind, like, I just want to move through the inventory and then be done with it. Right. But like, what's one of the greatest selling prints to this day? Starry Night, right? Hundreds of years later, still cranking. So, you have to kind of sort out that whole thing in your mind if you want to do it. If you do want to do it and build it up, that's one way to go. If not, you could probably find a gallery to be willing to represent you, especially if you say like, hey, my mom sold to these folks in the past, and it would be way less work, right, for you.
Right.
So that's what I would say. You kind of have to do that. Come to Jesus and decide.
Thank you for your honest and direct answer. I greatly appreciate it. I usually don't expect honest or direct, so that's refreshing.
Yeah, I don't like wasting anyone's time. And I'll give you another one. NFT, www.donotwasteyourtime.com. Okay? That is a rabbit hole that you don't need to go down. Okay? It is a shiny object. Stay in your lane. If it's move the inventory, find a gallerist, find an agent, sell it. If it's build a business, then we are a great solution for you. But it's important. Like, it will take you years to build a business. Do you want to grind on your mom's stuff for years? Or are you going to get disenchanted after 6 months? Very important questions to ask.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, you. Okay. Paula, I know you had your hand up. Jeffrey, I can't remember if you had your hand up yet or not. You'd have to let me know. And then Carl, I see your hand's up too, so we'll get you next. Go ahead, Paula.
So my question is I haven't really been around lately. I kind of fell off there for a couple of years during COVID.
Yeah, these things happen.
But is TikTok worthwhile?
It's a very, very good question. It's an extremely good question. And I have multiple different opinions on this. One, I have my own theory of shiny objects, okay? And you hear about these new things. That's like why I said, Ian, the NFT thing is a shiny object. And mind you, I am a crypto freak, okay? I buy crypto on a regular basis. I bought my first Bitcoin when I was 16. I love everything blockchain. And I'm telling you, NFTs is a shiny object. Do not worry about it, okay? But my little heuristic is like, if I hear about something enough times, then it's time to get in it. And if I hear about it enough times from people that I really respect in marketing land, then I get into it. TikTok's passed that threshold a long time ago. What was working against it was the fact that the age demographic skewed so young that those are not sweet spot art buyers. But bit by bit by bit, that's changing, and it's getting more and more and more popular, and it's sort of on the cusp right now. The better question is it a higher valued platform in terms of art sales than Instagram? No, it's not. No, it's not. It might go that way at one point in time, but no, it's not. It's also got some suspect data practices / might be owned by the Communist Party of China that makes it a little, queasy for some. So there's that too. But one of the things they're very good at doing is delivering you tons of likes and comments and shares, especially early on, to incentivize you to be on the platform. And then people get on here and they're like, that have never sold their art, and they're like, Patrick, I got all these likes and comments and shares on TikTok. I'm really blowing up over there. And then I'm like, that's awesome. You hear that knock at the door? That's me. I'm going to pick you up right now, and we're going to drive down to the ATM machine, and you show me the button on the ATM machine for likes or comments and shares on TikTok. There is no button on the ATM machine for that because it doesn't work that way, right? So I don't know so many artists that are really doing a very, very good job at moving a ton of inventory on TikTok. Some of my customers will tell me, like, hey, I'm really crushing this TikTok thing, and then I will go and look at their sales, and they are lying to me. So I don't feel like it's there yet, but it is certainly coming up, and I am interested about it. And I am very much like, I walk the walk, I talk the talk, I shoot people straight. I'm not on it yet. It's not true. We started an art storefronts page like 2 weeks ago. This is how recent it is for us, like making the commitment 2 weeks ago, and I'm still not on there. So it's like, practice what I preach is my thing. And I know that was a long-winded answer, but I wanted to give it to you straight. Oh, did you mute again? You muted again. Hold on. I don't know if you have a follow-up. You're like, dude, you could have just said no, and that would have been sufficed.
No, that's cool. I'm happy with that answer. I appreciate it. And I'm guessing that you guys will tell us when TikTok is going
Yes.
live.
Yes, I certainly will. And are you a customer, by the way? You are a customer, aren't you?
Yeah. I've had a website with you guys since 2017.
That's amazing. And you're so out of the loop. You totally jumped onto the chat that is not for customers, not like an internal one. You did an external one, which is totally okay.
I'm still sorry for interrupting. I'm kind of confused with everything because it's kind of changed quite a bit since I was active before, and it was 2020, so it's been a while.
Yeah, you got to love that part of it, by the way. Do you know how much we've changed since you? Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
I've always loved you guys. You're awesome.
Welcome back to the fold, Paula.
Thank you.
Start coming to the internal sessions. They're called office hours. It's in your site manager. Yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays.
All right, we'll do.
All right, we'll and maybe have a call with tech to just, what am I missing out on? Get back to speed, that whole thing.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, Carl, you're up next. Go ahead, Carl.
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
And I see you, Von Hui, and then Jeff. Yeah, I sure can, Carl. Go ahead.
I'm an amateur photographer, whatever that means. I think how to classify professionals versus amateur, and but also as an artist, musician as well.
Mm-hmm.
I earlier on in life figured out how to channel my creativity to actually make money.
Nice.
In business and so forth. And eventually figuring out, how to ask the question, who's the customer, which was a life-changing answer. If you're brave enough to answer it honestly. The question I have here is, I'm interested in taking my photography work,
yes,
which of course I feel is unique, and finding an outlet for it. I've had, and I'm not doing this for the money, by the way. That would just be a byproduct of getting, into something that I'm having fun doing, which I think most successful artists and in other occupations succeed at doing for that reason. Chase the passion, chase the passion, not the paper. So as a creative and been around creatives for so long, I've really learned that creatives are just, they suck at business and marketing.
Very, very true statement.
And that's not a derogatory statement. That's just a fact, and that's okay. In a different realm, like you got the Mick Jaggers of the Rolling Stones, which would never have happened if he didn't, get his business smarts into the mix, right? To keep that crew together. I also have some couple of very well-known painters, artists that have been very successful in their work, and they've done the long haul. And I'll drop the names of Mark Hobson up in Canada, the natural wildlife painter. Another fellow named Ross Penhall, retired fireman, who's, really doing well. But boy, do they have to haul the mail. They are running their business like clockwork. Their hands are on the wheel, and they're fully engaged. Rarely have I seen that in my lifetime.
No, every successful artist is. Every successful creative is. They're constantly, they all worked on their marketing. No one just gets absolutely lucky, and it just happens serendipitously, and all of a sudden they're just destroying it. Right. And if I ran a poll, okay, for all 24 people in here, I don't even need to do the poll. I can publish the results right now. Or said, everybody raise your hand if the solution that you're really looking for is you just create and someone else does all the marketing and business and you get a great salary. That is called a dream, and that is called a hobby, and that is called a left balloon. It doesn't exist for a reason. And it's the biggest lie that's ever been told, that you can somehow just create and it's all going to work out and it's all going to be great without having to work on the business and marketing. Stated yet another way, whatever you want to work on the least is what is the highest leverage lever for a creative business. And what they all want to work on the least is anything resembling business and marketing. So that's how it goes. But I cut you off. What's the succinct question and all of that, Carl?
Well, and so in your service and your platform, it obviously is a co-op. It is,
no, it's not.
The highest probability of success is going to be the artist, really getting into the business and marketing plan, however that is derived, whether it's
we teach you to do that.
Between your organization and them. Artists tend to just want to create, and you're right. No one's going to come knocking on your door saying, "Hey, I've been, hearing what or seeing or whatever it is been doing in your garage, and I want to give you a deal." Never happens.
No,
right?
Fish do not jump in the boat. It's not like a light switch you could just turn on. All of the above is very correct.
Yeah. So I think that in this, and to me, this was just sort of an ad hoc in transit to a very remote location email today that got me onto this call. Is how do you really assist the artist to the extent that they're able to focus more on their creativity and figure out a way to integrate whatever skills they have from a marketing position, which may be just them showing up, showing their, I don't know,
Yeah.
This is guidance that is rarely available to, the creative.
Yeah. And thanks for the question, Carl. So the long and the short is, like, the easiest way to think about what we do is, on one side, there's the website. Okay, that's what we're known for. That's what everyone thinks that we are. But as many on this call can tell you, none of you guys have a website problem. You all have the marketing problem, right? You have a website, a lovely website, or you've had a series of websites over the years, and no one's coming to them because you've never solved the only problem that matters, which is the marketing problem. So really, we're part website and we're part postgraduate university, and all we do is we teach. The closest thing to think about it is it's just a school, and all we do is we teach you all year long the art and the science and the business and how to market and grow a fine art or a fine art creative business, however you want to say it, wall art business, photography, art, and teach you in every stretch of the imagination. You can, like, there's classes, there's office hours, there's one-on-one sessions, there's support, there's textbooks, there's homework assignments, there's literally all of it, and we found that's the most effective way. You have to teach people how to do that, and then you have to support them emotionally, because everyone's natural state, even when they get excited to do the marketing, is to treat the marketing like a New Year's resolution. It's January and you signed up for that gym membership, and boy, are you motivated. You're going 4 days a week. It's awesome. Then March rolls wrong and you've been once all month, and then it all goes downhill from there, right? Which is what all artists and photographers do. So we have to literally not only have the great education, but we have to have a level of support that's part carrot, part stick, part a little bit everything, just to keep people going and moving and like, on the path. But okay, Bon Hui, you're on next. And let me know, you'll still have to unmute. Microphone icon, lower left-hand corner. I'll let you know when you get it. It's just one little click on the microphone is usually what does it. Yep, gotcha.
Okay. Hi. Actually, I'm not Bon Hui.
Okay.
Bon Hui is my husband.
Okay.
He's the artist, but he doesn't like to do any marketing.
Yeah, that's why you were nodding your head. She's like, I know, I have to do it all. Yeah.
Yes. So it's funny because earlier we're saying somebody's 80. We are all in our 80s also.
Oh, that's awesome.
But my husband has been doing all kinds of artworks for the past 30, 40 years. Mm-hmm. So my place is filled with all kinds of his artwork. Mm-hmm. He used recycle items from bottles, boxes, candy mm-hmm. boxes to anything else. And now he's doing digital arts and all this. So we haven't really been marketing anything, mm-hmm. except he does have a few one-man show in Taiwan, in Philippines, mm-hmm. and that. But he never really sells the product because it's like his babies.
Ah, yes.
He hates to separate from them. But the only times we sell it is when it's for donation, mm-hmm. or that somebody's fundraising, and we would do that. So these few days we happen to be tested positive, so I'm home, and I start looking into the website. Actually, I have contacted you a few months ago, but didn't have time because I'm still working too.
Oh, wow.
So I'm recovering from my work, and my focus now is how to help market all the artworks that we have here. Mm-hmm. And that's where I am. And the first thing, my question is, how do I start, or how do I submit all the artwork, or what's the best way to do it?
Yeah, so we're
focused to do it.
Yeah, so we're not like a marketplace where you upload the work and then we sell it for mm-hmm. you. So mm-hmm. If you signed up with us, you would have your own website and you would have to do your own marketing. Okay. So that in and of itself would be an interesting proposition. And the 80-year-old that I mentioned, Gordy, that signed up.
Yeah, Gordy, that's right.
Yeah. Did you see him, by the way? Oh my gosh, he was so funny.
No, but I was listening to you.
He was so great. He signed up, but I'm worried, that he signed up, and I might have to go in and rescue him and be like, Gordy, I love you. Okay, I love you, but this technology thing is not for you. We know you're not going to learn it, so don't do it, right? And this guy had the most amiable attitude. He was so good on video. I was like, if you could just be on video all day, you would sell fantastically. So for you, I would think if you want to build a business out of it, maybe step one is talk to your husband and say, are you going to let go of these? Or are we just going to sell prints of these? How are we going to do it, right? Because, if you're not willing to let go, what does it look like? And then do you want to potentially, it's sort of like the same portion of the question that I was asking Ian, right? Let's just assume that you guys did sign up and you did start working on the business and you did start growing it. Would there be someone, would one of your kids or someone take the mantle of the business and keep it going after you guys were gone?
Yes, my eldest son, he's a graphic designer. Mm-hmm. So he can, and grandsons, grandkids probably will.
Yeah.
But the main thing is to get it started. Once it's started, we are both very hardworking people.
Yeah.
So intense with our work. So I've been in real estate business for the past 40 some odd years. So I thought it's about time to quit and start this new one.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. We'll have somebody reach out and set you up with a demo, which is like the 1 hour. You get to see all the bells and whistles, all the plans, all the packages, all the marketing, and then you can decide. I think I love that you would work on it, and I love that you would start grinding it. And by the way, if the real estate business selling homes, are you a realtor?
Yeah, the real estate is booming, but it's sometimes too stressful for me.
Oh, it's very stressful. But next time you get a listing, you should stage it with some of your husband's art on the walls.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great way. It's a great way to sell art. Actually, you'd be surprised because you know, if
that's a good idea.
Yeah, if the buyer wants to include the purchase of the art in the price, they can end up financing it all. You know, under a 30-year fixed or whatever it is. So it's a sneaky way to sell art. So anyway, just a side note. But we'll put you on the list. We'll have somebody reach out to you, and then you can go from there. And then you need to have a conversation with the grandkids or the kids and say who's going to take this thing on. You know, 10 years from now, and start getting a succession plan in place. Because once you have that, then I feel like, you know, the train is on the track and it's going to just keep rolling, right? And everyone is working on it, and we're focused on it, and how's it going? Yeah. And then
Yeah, my granddaughter, she's 13 going 14. She's very into art also. Actually, she's the one that show all the high-tech things to my husband.
Oh, awesome.
So
awesome.
No problem with that.
And I love that. Are you guys Taiwanese?
No, we're Chinese, but we're from Philippines.
Oh, wow.
Grown in Philippines, but went to Taiwan to study, came to U.S. Over 50, 60 years ago.
So do you speak Mandarin, Tagalog, and English? Yeah,
we speak Bisaya, Tagalog, Mandarin, Fukienese.
Wow. Fukienese too? Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Awesome.
We're bilingual, multilingual.
Yes. Amazing.
So that's why the exhibit was in Philippines, in Taiwan, over here in U.S., in Honolulu.
Oh, that's incredible.
Hawaii.
That's incredible. So step one, we're going to have to get some rope and tie your husband up, and then we'll get all the work out so we can sell it, and then sell it, and then let him go.
Okay.
Oh, that'll be really fun. But we'll have somebody reach out for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Good meeting you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, Jeffrey, I'm just going to unmute you, Jeffrey. Did you have the question or not? Because Jeffrey raised his hand at first, and then I sort of forgot. So you'll have to unmute Jeffrey.
Basically, I had a question, but it got answered. So I'm just a mad scientist who just retired, and I've been doing photography for most of my adult life.
Okay.
So I also had to do it and teach it as part of forensics. I did biotech for many years, then I did forensics for a bunch of years, and then I taught forensics for a bunch of years.
Okay.
And
the crime scene forensics or what?
Oh yeah, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you have one chance to get it right. We don't take pictures, we make pictures. I mean, you can't just spray and pray or take a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
Come out, because we have to document each one as an individual item of evidence.
Yes. Yeah,
so,
got it.
You know, a 500 shot crime scene is a lot of work. For us. But anyway, so I've been doing that. I've been doing photography. So I just recently retired. And I thought, you know what? I've been doing science all my life, and I love art. I play drums, percussion, and didgeridoo and weird stuff. But I just thought, you know, I got all this art, and I've got this vision, and I've also got a different sort of stick about it. And so I thought, you know, let me give it a try. And if nothing else, see if I can pay for my hobby, because lenses are expensive.
Oh, yes,
so anyway, you know, that kind of stuff. So I figured, well, let me look and see what you guys have to offer. I actually helped start a biotech company, and I also ran my own biotech consulting company. And so I know how that stuff works, and I know how marketing. And I was also, for a while, I was the research director for new technologies development for this biotech company. So I had to look at the market, and I look at the patent landscape, so we'd avoid other people's patents and that kind of stuff, and look at what kind of opportunities are there. Are we a Me Too? And if we're a Me Too, we have to be better, quicker, faster, or we're enabling, that kind of stuff. So I mean, I know how all that kind of stuff works. So I figured, well, what the heck? Let me see if I can try something new. I'm very eclectic, and I'm always interested in something new.
Yeah, I get that.
I've never grown up. My wife and I raised 4 kids, adopted 4 more. I tell people I got 8 kids. She tells people she has 9. But I figured, well, give this a shot. See if I can make a business out of them, because there's a little bit of that challenge too. And I like conundrums. And so having a challenge of making a go at something that I enjoy as a passion, I thought, well, that would be kind of a cool thing if I could pull it off. So that's why I'm talking to you. Find out. Look, I'm an information nut. So
yep.
The more information you have, the more I'm interested, and I want to learn about you. And if there's something we could do together going forward, great. So.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah. Well, keep watching. See if you're interested. If you're interested, definitely request a demo. We can help you get going on it. Like anything else, gonna take work. Gonna take work, right?
And I'm only 65, so I guess I'm spring chicken.
You are.
Some ways. No, I'm just teasing. My daughter says I'm not older than dirt. I'm just as old as dirt.
That's great. I love it. And congrats on 8 kids. That must be insane. I mean, that's amazing. I'm the oldest of 4, and I feel like I grew up in an insane asylum. We were 3 of us boys, though. Yeah, drove my mom nuts. Drove my mom completely nuts. April, will you make a note? Tamar, I need to email Tamar in a video. Just remind me. Okay. Who else? Questions? Oh, there was another one. D Blanco. I'm gonna unmute you, D Blanco. Are you comfortable sharing this question with everyone else, D Blanco? By the way, because I know you sent it to me privately. I assume you are, but.
Hi. Yes. My name is Daniela. I just put D to make it quick. So.
Got it, Daniela. And where are you from? Just out of curiosity, I heard that Spanish accent in there, I think.
Oh yes, I'm from Bolivia originally.
Wow.
I'm living in California.
Wow.
I grew up in Miami, so I also have that accent.
Yeah. I was gonna say Bolivian. I think you were the first Bolivian we've had on in period. That's amazing. We've had some Venezuelans.
Oh wow.
So you might as well restate your question, and then everyone will know, and then we can get into it.
Yes. Okay. So my question was about the time that I spend creating content for Instagram. I feel like I'm spending a lot of time just creating content, putting myself out there constantly, and I haven't really gotten that many sales from it. But I feel like that falls into the attention block that you were talking about.
Yes, it does.
So should I just, I don't know, it's just kind of frustrating because just creating the content and putting it out there and everything takes a lot of my time.
Yes.
So yeah, I was just wondering if I should keep doing it.
Yes, you should. Now, that's not to say that you're doing it completely correctly. Okay. That in are you taking it seriously? Throw your Instagram handle in the thing. I want to see it.
Okay. Let me see. All right. I'm gonna put it for everyone.
But and then I'll pull it up and I'll look at it.
Casabojo _ Okay. Casabojo. Yeah.
All right. Let's take.
Yeah, and I'm just thank you so much for all the information you've been giving us.
That's my pleasure.
I was just wondering what basically you guys help us out with educating us on marketing and all the business aspect.
Yeah, including what to do on Instagram. It's so weird. It's not showing up with the underscore. April, you see if you can track it down. It's kind of fun to do the by the way, to do like the that's so interesting. Why is it not popping? I typed it. April, see if you can find it. But I searched that exact same thing. Let's just see.
At Casabojo _. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm totally putting it in here, and it's just not. It's not pulling it up. So you can just see I'm not crazy. Yeah. What am I doing wrong? Casa.
I sent the link.
You sent the link. Okay, good. Thank you. There it is. Boom. All right. That's so weird. Do you have it working in yours? I feel like I've just had browser issues recently. And sorry, folks. Let's see if it works in my other browser. Yeah, of course. Works flawlessly in my other browser. Okay, and you're actually hitting it pretty hard. I gotta turn this one.
We can still see the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm gonna fix it. Hold on. Let's see if this will work. Otherwise, I have like some weird like gremlin-y thing going on with my little setup where my browser does not like. It just does not like Instagram. Anyway, yeah, your profile looks great. Good in focus picture. You're doing Instagram stories. You're hitting it hard here, which looks good. Your Story highlights look good. You got a ton of them on here: mural art, sketching, live art, Danny, whatever Danny is, and then let's just see. You know, you're holding your pieces out. The Instagram post balance is good. So how long have you been at this? Oh, did she mute? I'm scrolling down. Where did you go? You muted. I probably muted you. Did I mute you? I don't know. There we go. I'm going to unmute you again. Danielle, I'm unmuting you.
Oh, there we go. I was just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started Casa Boho maybe like 3 years ago, just so that I can start getting a taste of the Etsy and how all the business stuff worked. I sold a few from Etsy, but it was mostly my stuff was selling. I was doing resin art and working with crystals. I was selling that in the Bay Area in a store. And now I'm in San Diego, and I'm more into painting now and live art events. I have a music festival coming up.
So your Instagram follower count does look low for as long as you've been doing it, and you actually look like you're doing a good job of it. I mean, you've got reels, you've got videos, so I sort of wonder why this is not growing faster than it should be, especially, I mean, if you've been at it, it looks like you've been hitting it hard recently, but maybe not as hard in the past, right?
Yeah, it just takes so much from...
What I would say is it's completely normal to be frustrated. Okay, normal part of the thing. The first couple of years totally suck. Okay, totally suck. No one ever tells you that, but they just do. And I'm still because your Instagram is really bright, really lively. There's most of the time, like when I come on and someone's like, you know, I've really been posting hard on Instagram and, you know, I'm just not getting anywhere. Can you help? Can you tell me what's going on? Normally what happens in that situation is they just post 2D image of their art, 2D image of their art, 2D image of their art, and nothing else ever. You've got like videos going on and it's you holding the work and, you know, you're showing yourself live painting and everything else. So you're doing a lot of the things that I would normally characterize with doing a great job on Instagram. I just don't know. For some reason, it's growing slower than it should be. I'm sort of actually perplexed.
Maybe I should just keep. I don't do it every day. I don't do it. Sometimes I take a whole week just because it just takes a lot of my energy and focus and to keep putting myself out there. And it's like I don't even know if this is even working.
Yeah. It's a job. It's a grind. You know, where we sit currently, Instagram is still the most important platform. So I would keep going. I wouldn't quit just yet. And inevitably, do you know when? And I see you're active on TikTok too. So inevitably, most people quit right before it starts like catching and hitting. So don't give up. And I would just say stay focused on it, right? So something's a little bit disconnected there, but I'll take a look, and if I find anything else, I'll email you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we could definitely help you, though. You should see a demo, too. As a final, because I love San Diego. I went to school down there. Where in San Diego do you live?
Yes, I live in La Jolla.
Nice.
I live like a couple of blocks from the beach.
Yeah,
so I take that into my... Yeah.
I went to school at UCSD. I got married in La Jolla. I mean, I love San Diego.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I do have a quick question, another quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, should I'm doing a lot of live art events. I love going to music art festivals and doing all this stuff, but I've noticed that people don't really buy art from music festivals. So I'm trying to get into the art selling business, like art fairs.
Yeah. Fairs are probably a better crack than the music festivals. You know, you can, what you're likely not doing correctly though is, and we have like a playbook on it. So I'll make a note. She needs the playbook, the podcast episodes. So we have a podcast, right? Detail in depth what you need to do when you're inside the booth, which is, you know, there's not a lot of people that go to a music festival, okay, and they're there in music festival vibe that wants to contemplate holding something under their arm and going home with it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So I don't think music festivals, you know, especially when they're probably drinking and or on drugs. So, you know, that's a suboptimal place to do it. I would definitely switch to the other, but I'm going to send you some podcast episodes that'll help you on what strategies to use to better capture leads, because the music festivals can be good to get a ton of emails, you know. Because people will come by, they're interested, they like having a conversation with you, and then, you know, if you captured their email address, then you stand a very good chance at making a sale after the fact.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Danielle. Thanks for coming. Okay, it's going to go Emily, then Kelly. Go ahead, Emily. Oh, you got to unmute. Emily, you got to unmute.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
Did you run it? And by the way, now that I look at it, I have my one buddy, Matthew, that just does portraits. And he says this line that like every portrait that he does is secretly a self-portrait, right? Because it's his way of saying like the artist stuff is infused in there. And then now that I look at this one behind you, this is clearly a self-portrait, isn't it?
Well,
aha.
Okay, so listen,
Yeah.
I did one last year that it was not going to be a self-portrait. It ended up looking way too much like me because so many people ask me when they see it as a self-portrait. The story behind the painting is a self-portrait, but it wasn't supposed to be a self-portrait. So this one I made kind of cartoonish, you know, like big eyes and stuff, because I was tired of people asking me if it was self-portrait.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also a self-portrait in spirit, like the last one was, because this is a story about me. I went blind in one eye last summer because I have MS, and even though I have regained some of my vision, it's still impaired, and I still have a little bit of color blindness. So that's what like all the colorful flowers around her is, but she's gonna have this black and white rose over one eye, and that's so at the heart of it. I mean, the spirit is self-portrait,
awesome.
But you recognize that, you remember me.
Yeah.
Been working on this for weeks. But so that's the story behind that, girl.
Awesome. Did you run a live art show yet?
I was coming on today specifically to tell you that I did my homework. You said that if I was to run my live show within 2 weeks. I did it last Wednesday.
Okay. Did you send it to me? I want to see it.
How do I send it to you?
Send me the Instagram post or the Facebook post. Where did you post it?
I put it on Instagram. I put it on both.
Okay, awesome. Yes, send it to me. And remind me, what did I promise?
That you would buy something off of me if I did it.
Okay, send me the results. Let's go. Send me the results.
Pick you up on that.
Yes.
Come on now.
This is exactly the type of motivation that I need to do. And Emily caught me when I was in a good mood on whatever it was. It was like a Friday, and I was like, Emily, you run one. I will have to go back and see what the terms of the deal was. But I will.
Within 2 weeks, you have it in 2 weeks. If I was to run it in 2 weeks, you would. I think this is. I can't find the @ symbol on my phone. There.
Yeah, it's okay.
But it's Field & Rain Studios. Me.
Okay, send me the @ handle, and then April, just make sure you can find that one, and then I will inspect and I will take a look. How did it go? Did you get any feedback?
I loved it. It's like I didn't want to. I didn't want to I get nervous.
Everybody gets nervous.
But it ended up being fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I think I didn't have like a lot of people join or anything like that. But I got
that's how it goes. That's how it goes at first.
People were sending flames and saying, like, I was talking about certain things I did with the paint when I was talking about different pieces, and they were like, you need to start a YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. So things like that. But I didn't get any sales, but at least I did it. It was about a half hour long. I showed 13 paintings, and I ended up having a lot of fun. So now I'm going to be more confident.
Good.
As I go forward, and I'm going to keep doing it because it's a great idea. And so I appreciate the kick in the butt.
You're welcome.
And I needed to share with you that I actually did it, and I did my homework.
Okay. Awesome. Now go do more.
I will. Now I do have actually a question too.
Yeah, go ahead.
It actually follows on the Instagram question. Most of my followers are fellow artists.
No, I've never heard that before. Trust me. I know.
Cool.
That's just the nature. That's the nature of this gig. That like all artists just love following other artists, and it's super annoying and super frustrating. Trust me, I know.
So how do you get like actual?
You don't.
You
don't worry about it. You just keep marketing. That's all you can do. You just keep marketing. Stay focused on the marketing. Yes, some artists are going to follow you. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't really control who follows. Who follows you. But it's just an occupational hazard of the whole thing. There's nothing you can do.
Well, I actually kind of seek people out in that my daily ritual is every day to do searches on hashtags where my customers would go or my competition would go, right? So like work for sale, what have you. And then I look and see what's there. But then if I see stuff I like, I'll like it. And if they comment back like, hey, thanks, I'll take a look at all their stuff. And if I like their stuff, I'll follow them. but then once I follow them, they follow me back. So it's kind of self-induced that I've got a lot of artists following
No, it's
me.
okay. That can totally work.
I mean, my following is it. I see a difference when I do that and when I don't. Like I get a lot, getting a lot of followers in that way, but I just don't know how to get art buyers following me.
Yeah, it's regular and consistent marketing. You need to be doing all of it consistently all year. You can sign up with us and we'll teach you, or go to episode 1 of my podcast and listen to it from start to finish.
Okay.
Go all the way through. I'm telling you, there's a ton of tactical stuff in there that'll help you get going. And I will inspect your show, and then what you sell your stuff on Etsy. Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But I told them on the podcast to contact me, or not the podcast, the show, to contact me directly, because I'll give them better prices, because it's true.
Awesome. Good living. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Okay, next up is Kelly. Kelly, you're up. Go ahead.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure can.
Good. Awesome. So I am from Vancouver, just east of Vancouver in Chilliwack. I am a photographer, and I started doing markets, but I didn't just sell my photography, because I decided it would be too much to print them. So I started doing transfers onto wood, like reclaimed wood and coasters, that kind of thing. So anyway, long story longer. I was walking away from the markets, deciding that, it's a lot of work doing markets, and I wanted to help other people that are doing the markets, help them sell their work. I don't know where I figured that I had the knowledge or the education to do that, but that was my kind of goal. And this was before COVID, and then COVID hit. So I did it all online. So I have a website now that I help, mostly local, like mostly in the Vancouver area, but some like right across Canada. I sell their art, but I'm doing it, but I'm not really selling. And I'm kind of the same as Danielle. Like I post all the time on Instagram and Facebook, and I still only have like maybe 400 followers on Instagram, 800 on Facebook, and it just doesn't seem to be moving. There's no buyers. I get my buyers mostly from the artist friends, that kind of thing. So it's not kind of moving the way I did. And actually just this holiday, like over the Easter holiday, I was like thinking about just giving it all up. And I think I talked to Brian earlier in the week, and so I feel like I'm just banging my head against the wall a little bit.
That's totally normal too, by the way. Like, you know, the long and the short of it is, you guys are solopreneurs, right? You are a solo entrepreneur. You're a solopreneur, and that is a very difficult thing to do. Okay, it is a very lonely road. It is filled with the emotional roller coasters of the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs. And you know, when you're working in a business that's not a solopreneur operation, when you have the low moments, you've got other people in the office that buck you up and be like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, we'll get going, right? Like, I've been there before. This is totally normal. And when you don't have that, it is damn hard. And it is damn hard early on, especially. And, you know, I think one of the most valuable things that we offer is community and the support and the encouragement, which is just so damn important. I mean, there are times when it is like literally more important that the support in all of the various different fashions, right? Like, you know, you saw with Emily before, like that was me, case in point, doing it. And sometimes, like, you know, Emily was talking about running a live art show, and I'm like, no, you go run a damn live art show in the next week and I will buy something, right? And it got her to do it. Like, you need that constant level of encouragement, and we have it. We have a private Facebook group where all of our artists encourage one another. And then we have these office hour sessions like this. And there's something really powerful about, like, right now, they're all running their Mother's Day sale, because Mother's Day, believe it or not, is a huge art buying holiday. And so we have them all running their sales together. And just when you're like, oh my God, kill me now, this doesn't work, why am I doing it? Somebody will be like, I did it, I followed all the steps, and I just got 6 sales. You guys, I'm through the roof. And you'll be like, what is that person doing that I'm not doing? And then you realize, oh, they're doing the steps. If I just did the steps, can I get there? You know, it's not any one thing, but it's really, really important to have the encouragement. So what I'm saying to you is, what you're feeling right now, totally normal, right? Same thing to Danielle, totally normal. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You have to grind, and the early years are extremely lean.
It's super lonely, and then it's overwhelming because you're just, like you said, you're doing everything, like every little.
Yeah, I already know you're working on a bunch of the wrong things, the nonsensical things, okay? And, don't take it as like a straight sales pitch. You need to sign up with us. Yes, you can sign up with us. Yes, we'll help you. You've already talked to Brian. You make up your mind on that. But go back and listen to my podcast and start following every single solitary episode. It's that simple. I give you a full-blown marketing education on the things to work on. And if you're not working on either creating the stuff or getting the stuff in front of people's eyeballs and selling it, then you're working on the wrong stuff. Early on, when you're just getting started, there's only one thing you have to worry about. Have you sold the art to people not named mom, dad, brother, family, friends, like people that are close to you, right, that know you? If you sold work to strangers, you just have a marketing problem. That's it. You have a marketing and a perspective problem. It's going to take years to get that business to going. So if you feel like you've passed the stranger test, then you just have a marketing problem and you just need to stay at it and keep going. And you need to get better at it. And oftentimes what artists do is they think success is being busy. And what they end up doing is working on a bunch of stuff that is not moving the business forward, but instead just busy work, right? Like the perfect example is like, I'll get the business started, Patrick, and I'll really get going. But, first I got to figure out how I'm going to box my orders. And then I've got to figure out how I'm going to ship, and I'm going to have to find an international shipper because I want to sell in Europe, and I'm going to sell some stuff to Europe. And then I've got to go and talk to an accountant because when I make the sales, I need to make sure that I have the proper tax situation all sorted out, and then I'll get to work on selling. Do you know what's hard to do? Sell the work. Do you know what's not hard to do? Everything else. And you just spent all this time working on all these things, and you trick yourself into saying like, ooh, I'm working on these things really hard. I'm doing a great job. No, you're working on the wrong stuff. You're working on the one thing that you don't want to do, which is actually go and sell the stuff. Now, I'm not accusing you of that, Kelly, proactively or not, but that is oftentimes what happens. And, you got to challenge yourself. Like, are you just being busy to be busy, or are you really trying to sell and doing a good job of it? Or do you feel like you haven't passed the stranger threshold yet? So how do you respond to that? One, do you feel like you sold to strangers, or do you still feel like you have to cross that barrier?
I have sold to strangers for sure, but not a lot, and it's not on a consistent basis for sure. I can see, I'm not looking for international sellers, exactly what you're saying, but I'm sure there are things that I'm doing
Yeah, always.
So how do I find those things that are making me sell them? Like, because obviously I'm not getting it. There's obviously something.
Yeah. So a couple of things. One, again, go start on my podcast. Start listening to it. Just do it when you're painting, do it when you're doing you're a photographer. Do it when you're driving places or, whatever you're doing, taking public transportation, driving, whatever. Start learning and start putting some of that stuff into practice. Two, you have to understand, and this is one of the things that infuriates me because they don't ever teach this in art school or photography school or really anywhere, which is like, how do you make it as a creative? And you realize, okay, that it's actually a game of archery, okay? And it's a game of archery in which you actually win by the volume of arrows that you fire, okay? Now stick with me on the analogy. When Pablo Picasso died, he had 45,000 unsold works in his inventory. 45,000 unsold works. No one ever talks about that. What do you think that guy understood? He understood that to make it as a successful artist, it was a game of archery, okay? And he fired a whole lot of arrows. And guess what a lot of those arrows did? They went over the fence into the neighbor's backyard, and they missed the target completely. And it fapped off and hit a tree, and some went into the ground, and he didn't care. He got up and shot another arrow. So what I see artists do and photographers do on a regular basis is they will say, this is what creatively inspires me. This is what I love to shoot. So I'm going to make this my arrow, and I'm going to go shoot it into the target. And then if it misses the target or it doesn't get the results that it wants, I'm just going to either A, keep firing the same arrow, or B, I'm going to say, this arrow is not hitting the bullseye. What the hell is going on here? I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall. And what no one's told you is you have to try the various different subject materials until you can find one that is actually a hit. If the art is not selling and it's not mapping to your expectations for the business, you have to constantly be trying out some new subject materials. And guess what? All the smartest artists and photographers of all time always did that. And that's how they got to those levels. And, for me, it's like I write a headline, a sub-headline, and I get an image for ad A. And then I do the same thing for ad B. And I run the two of them against each other at the same time. And I'm just looking for which one's going to win. And when I find out which one wins, I drop the loser, I write another one, and those two compete. And that's a great way to think about how to approach your subject material. And somehow baked into their DNA, I've noticed, because we've been at this like 7 years now and have a ton of customers that have been with us for like 5 and 6 years and haven't left. And I've got to see what makes some of the most successful ones stand out. And one of the things that makes some of the most successful ones stand out is they are constantly doing this, and they just have it in their DNA to constantly be trying new styles and new perspectives and new image types and new hooks. And, you know, inevitably by doing that, they end up stumbling onto something that has a much bigger addressable market than what you potentially have currently, right?
But none of them are my, oh, I mean, I do have my work on there too, but most of them are other artists and that, so I can't really control what.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have your own personal come to Jesus. I mean, you know, the issue that I have with doing what you're doing is, why would I come to you? Why would I come to you to do that? You haven't proved it works on you, right? Or you haven't proved that you have like a really, really strong skill set for it. Now, what I think you're doing is incredibly noble, but I feel like you need to prove you can do it first before you can do it successfully for others.
Mm-hmm. For sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I'm in over my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. But the you know what the good news is the bar for entry is extremely, extremely low. Meaning, you know how you don't like doing the marketing and you're trying to do it and it's frustrating and everything else? Everyone that's like, here, Kelly, take my art and sell it, they're doing absolutely nothing. So all you have to do is just do something a little bit effectively, and you could start doing some damage for sure. So stay encouraged. I want you to stay encouraged.
Okay. I don't know if that was encouraging, but okay.
Yeah. Stay encouraged. Don't worry. You can still do it. But figure out whether or not you want to push your stuff or push their stuff. If you're going to push their stuff, then you're a gallery. If you're going to be a gallery, you're going to have to take like a 50-50 split with them. Is that what you have negotiated?
25.
25.
Because I know I'm not up to that level yet.
Yeah.
I mean, once I start kicking butt, then I'll definitely increase it for sure.
Mm-hmm. And are you taking 25%, and are you letting them know who purchases their work? Or are you withholding that information?
Yep. No, I give them the information.
Yes.
Because they're all they box it up and ship it and all that kind of stuff because of COVID, especially. But,
yeah.
But I don't have any of their work at all, so that makes it hard to do social media as well. Like actually being with their art and kind of showing it makes it impossible for me to do it.
Yeah.
So there's like little things that are, you know, interesting to try and work around. But I know reels and stuff are huge on Instagram, but I don't really do those because I don't have the art to kind of show people.
Yeah.
And talk about.
Yeah. Get going on my podcast, Kelly. It's going to help you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
All right. I feel like I've been yapping for a long time. Follow-up questions, guys? Otherwise, I will send you, once this thing ends, I will send you the replay with all the links, all the bells, all the whistles. I think I also have in there, the podcast episodes on what to do at art shows and fairs, by the way. April, isn't that in the page already? I think it is.
Yeah, it's already there.
Yeah. So perfect. So let me just show you. Let's take stock of what we've got here. So in here, I'm going to send you how to run live art shows. It's a quick start guide. This thing is awesome. It gives you all like the reasons why the live art shows are such a big deal. And then down at the bottom, I realize I'm scrolling at 100 miles an hour. You can go send me the guide. And this thing is like a step-by-step tactical guide on how to get going on these things. The equipment you need, inventory and pricing, how to get paid, where to stream the show, the actual show, what to do after, da-da-da-da-da. All of that's on there. It's awesome. It's totally free. You don't even have to often email anything. Then also on here is, where is it? Let's see. I might not have the right one open, huh, April? The one that actually has the fish roll on it.
If we have, let me see.
No, well, the one thing I was going to show you is not there, which is typical. It's always the case when it happens. But don't worry. It will be on that page, and I'll send that to you in a little bit. And then, you know, if you're just hearing about art storefronts for the first time, or you're just getting started, or, you know, you're trying to get your first sales and everything, don't worry. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be here. But if you're like, these guys seem to know what they're talking about, they can likely help me. You know, I would say request a demo, go see. We're having a crazy, no joke, inflation, gas prices suck sale, and it is a great time to sign up, get get bolted in, get rolling, and get the business focused on where it needs to go. But I really appreciate you guys spending the time with me today. Hope you learned some stuff. Definitely subscribe to the podcast. Yep, I've got your handle. Don't worry, I will take a look. And yeah, hope to see you guys either on the inside or on a future episode or something along those lines. Thanks for everything. Have a great rest of your day.